Welcome back. John and I are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. And so we're talking a bit about our relationship and how it came together, how the relationship came together, what the early days were like. And now we're going to talk about some topics and how we dealt with those things as we went through our relationship. So my name is Brent Hawks. I'm the Executive Director of Rainbow Faith and Freedom.
I'm John Sproul, and I'm happily retired, thank you.
And happily married to me.
Yes.
So, want to talk about our family. I came from a very large family, relatively speaking, 5 of us, plus my mom and dad, and lots of aunts and uncles and cousins around all over the place. And I'm the oldest in the family. And John?
I'm the only kid in my family, and aunts and uncles were all very distant from us. So it was a very quiet household, and my dad traveled a lot for business, so a very quiet household.
So John comes from a small, quieter household. I come from a larger, very busy place. Our home was Grand Central Station with lots of people coming by and hanging out.
Your parents are total sports fans, as is your entire family.
Yeah.
Spectator sports are the thing.
So
my family, opera.
So back to our family.
Yes.
So in terms of how we managed dealing with our family. So John being an only child, I think there was a high expectation that there would be grandchildren.
Yeah.
And that was a problem when you came out, right?
Yes, it was.
For your mom, your dad, for both?
Mainly for my mom.
Yeah. And for me, the big issue for me coming out to my family was that neither of my parents ever knew anyone they knew was gay. And they obviously knew gay people, but they didn't know they were gay. My father had been raised in a very strong Pentecostal, fundamentalist Christian family and viewed homosexuality as a major sin and this, all kinds of awful words that he would use when I came out to him. And so that was very difficult. But gradually we got to the place where both of our families were fully accepting. John's parents were much older than him, but they came around. I remember one time we went to church with John's mom, and we went to a number of times, but one time we went to church in particular, I remember this one, and it was a sunny day, or not sunny day, it was like a spring day, I think, but we were getting ready to leave, and John's mom and I were standing outside waiting for John again, and so he came out and he said, "Brent, can you help me find my sweater? I don't know where I put my sweater." I said, "Sure." And John's mother said to me, "Brent, if you help him to find that sweater, you'll be helping him to find things for the rest of his life." She was right.
And was there any problem with her being right?
Anyway, so we gradually, the family's accepting. My mom went through quite a process of acceptance. John's family was pretty quick.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time when John took me down to meet his family, and everybody was a bit nervous, but it went very accepting and very quick. They adjusted. My family took a while, and I remember the first Christmas we were together, Mom sent Christmas presents to Brent, "Love, Mom," ignoring that he was in the picture. And then the second Christmas, so I spoke to her about that, and so the second Christmas, the presents came, "Love, Mom," no names. And then the third Christmas, so gradually until it got Brent and John, "Love, Mom," and then Brent, "Love, Mom," John, "Love, Mom." So it was a process, and then it was me getting to be coming out to my younger siblings. I have a sister 1 year younger, Nancy, but then there's an 11-year gap, and I have 2 more sisters and another brother. And so coming out, but eventually they were very, very accepting. And all the nieces and nephews, and we're very, very fortunate with our extended family.
Yeah. One of the things that I find in some small towns, Brent's in particular, is that people have to live with each other. And that means that if you were really rude to somebody because they're gay or their kid's gay, then that's going to stick around for a while. So people tend to be much more, in that town at least, tended to be very polite. They may have had different ideas, but they tended to be polite. And this is one of our doggies. This is Teddy.
Okay. So, I think we've both been very fortunate with our family situations that ultimately our families were very accepting. I remember going through some old papers and coming across a letter that John's dad had typed to me. He was well into his 90s, and he typed this letter, and I guess he was either saying happy birthday to Brent or happy anniversary to the two of us or something like that. And he said, "Brent, the day you entered this family was one of the best days for our family ever." And so, really genuine, really, really wonderful acceptance. And I just would maybe just mention one illustration to conclude today, talking about family stuff, is John was working for a German company and was stationed in Berlin and was going to be away for a while. And John's mom said to me, Brenda, you're going to go visit him in Berlin. And I said, Jean, I'm a pastor. I can't afford that. And I'd never traveled outside North America in my life. And so she said, what would it cost? I said, I have no idea. And she said, what are you looking at? I said, not even worth it. She said, Brenda, look up. How much it would cost for airfare and for a hotel and for food? So I did. And I told her what it was. I think it was like $1,250 in those days. Mm-hmm. What year would that have been?
89.
89. So she said, okay, I'm going to send you a check for that tomorrow. I want you to go visit John while he's in Berlin. And I was flabbergasted.
And it was the best care package I've ever had. And it gave Brent a new view of the world to see Berlin and Germany. And it made my stay in Berlin ever so much better and easier.
So that's part 3 in our relationship. And we're going to continue to talk about some issues. And maybe the next one we're going to focus especially on the differences between the two of us and how we manage that. So again, if you would like to subscribe, check off the subscribe button. That would be great. If you'd like to get a notice whenever a new video comes out, click on the little bell button. And if you'd like to share
it with friends that you think might be able to use the information on this. And if you've listened to us thus far, there's a little like button that you can also hit. And these things really help us with the channel. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Ciao.